What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are going over 7 different stocks today. We're going to be going over Tesla and Apple for R great, PLNH for unlawful law, GME for, I don't even know how to pronounce this person's name. Let's go with KOOYKYK, BRPHF for Mark Balsersack, PMTS for JAI and Dr. Mike and the boys, TSM for Deej. And that's it. That's it. So again, Tesla, Apple, PLNH, GME, BR, PHF, PMTS, and TSM. You guys stick around, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. I'm going to go over all these stocks and then tell you which one I think looks the best by the end of the video for more immediate price action. I am going to delete this. The chart looks a little bit messy right now, but that's from the last video. Looking at Tesla right now, and I believe it might not have been you, all great, or maybe it was, but you were requesting what I think it's going to do over the next couple months or so, next couple weeks, right? 1 week to 6 months. That's what you wanted me to go over. It's really hard to do. Time analysis is not my strong suit, really, but I will try. I think over the coming weeks, I think Tesla will continue to work its way down. I think over the coming week to 6 weeks, really, you're probably going to work your way down. Maybe longer than that even. Probably down toward, and I mean not in the next week, but over time, I think 125 to 111 is on the table. As far as the next 6 months go, if it is May right now, it's the 5th month, we'd be looking for November, the 11th month, right? Essentially there, that's 6 months of time. I would say we're probably going to be lower than the current price in 6 months. That's my thoughts. Tesla can pump really hard whenever it finds its low, right? Like it does like to pump up rather immediately once it finds its lows, but you know, that hard pump, let's say prices go all the way down here. That hard pump could be here, and then you kind of meander, whatever. I mean, it's really hard to say where I could see prices be in the next 6 months. My genuine opinion is I think it'll be lower than here. Where will it be? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But I do think it's going lower nonetheless. I do think we have a day with destiny down toward $100 to $120. We're at 174 now. It is completely possible that we could go lower than this low at $100 and $101 there. Low to high. Depends on what we do, but if we break below 153 on this next attempt, if we do something like this where we bounce and then we go down, I might not be convinced that we go lower. But if we just tear right through, especially if we can tear through that 786, I would start to think that prices down at like $76 to $65 would become possible over the next 6 months to a year. But that's hard to say. I don't personally expect this to happen. That's not an expectation of mine. My expectation is at the moment that we'd find a slightly higher low or even a double bottom, maybe a slightly lower low, but still somewhat of a double bottom. That's my current expectation. But as far as when does that happen, that's really hard to guess. Probably takes most of the rest of this year to happen, though, to find your low and move on from there. It could even be until next year, but that's Tesla. That's the best I got for that. I'm sorry if that's not enough, but that's the best guess. I think it's going lower. Immediate term, midterm, I think it's going lower. Long term, it's just consolidating. Apple on the weekly looking a bit interesting in itself. Daily looks very strong. Weekly looks set up to be strong, maybe. I like the price action. Let's see, high to low. Yeah, man, you're reaching for new all-time highs. We'll see you at 210 to 225 over the next 6 months, probably 210 to 225. And again, if the time is wrong on that, the price won't be wrong. Inevitably, I do expect 210 to 225 to be achieved before prices below like 180 are achieved again. But that's Apple. I think you're moving up, man. Looking good. PLNH, Planet 13 Holdings. Unlawful law. Is this Planet 13? Is this the cannabis store in Las Vegas? Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Oh wow. So this is wow. I don't know if anybody's ever been there, but man, I've worked in the cannabis industry. This dispensary is the biggest dispensary that I've ever seen, and the way it's laid out, it's pretty cool. It's like you don't even have to consume cannabis to be intrigued by it, man. I went in at the right time. It was like every 30 minutes or every hour they do this show with balloons and drones and stuff. They're like light up balloons that are carried by drones. It's really cool. I feel like I'm walking into an Apple store when I walk into Planet 13. I'm just giving a little background. I've actually been in there before. It is, I'm pretty sure, if not now, at the time I went there, it still very well could be the biggest dispensary in the United States. It's the biggest one. So, and it's just outside of like the Las Vegas city limits or wherever. You're not allowed to buy actual cannabis products within Vegas. You have to go outside of Vegas to buy cannabis products. But yeah, when I went there, it was probably like 2020. Probably like 2020, if not 2021. It was probably 2021. Anyways, guys. High to low. Who cares about my experience, right? It's about the charts. That's what we're here to talk about. We could have found our low. It is possible that that's your low. You are at around your all-time low area, and you're holding pretty decently. Monthly RSI is looking constructive. Weekly RSI is neutral, not really giving us a whole lot. Kind of looks bearish. Kind of. Daily RSI neutral with a kind of bearish, but I don't know. I'm going to go with this, okay? Planet 13. This is what I'm going to go with. I think you found your low. I think you're consolidating. You're in a phase where you're going to be consolidating for the months to come until an undisclosed time. When we close a month, or I wonder, yes, a month, I would say, but really, I think this line's actually more important to pay attention to. When we close a week above $1, you're at 61 cents now. When you close above $1, finally again, I think that will solidify not only that this was your low, but that you're breaking out of this consolidation phase and you're getting ready to move up. As far as when does that happen, I don't know. That could happen sometime this year. It could happen sometime this month or next month. I really don't know. But I wouldn't expect going into 2025 that you would not have yet broken out. If not, like very early 2025, perhaps you break out. But I wouldn't be surprised if over the next 1 to 3, maybe even 4 months you consolidate, right? They say sell in May and go away. This is normally not the most exciting time for the stock market. So I could see you just kind of consolidating. Any low that you have will get bought into. Any ups that you have will get sold into, PLNH. I hope that answers your question. Just really boring. Boring is what I see with this thing. It's going to be boring for the months to come. If I really had to guess, I suppose, yes, I think you are moving down from here, probably down to about 56 to 59 cents, maybe lower, 51 cents at the lowest. You're at 61 cents now. But then you'll go up too. You'll probably, up and down and all around. That's the best I got for that. GME is the next one. Yes, wow, there you go. You did it, didn't you? My last video that I made on GME, I want to say it was literally at the high. I wonder when was it? Can we see? GME, okay, pumping. This was, and I know I was not. This is what's it called? A bullish title, but in the video, if you watch it, you can see that I was actually bearish on both of these. If I was bullish, it was for a little bit more, but then coming down. This is on the day May 14th. Is when I published it. So it would have been May 14th. May 14th, yeah, that day. Yeah, I said if it goes a little bit higher, maybe, but the reason why I thought that might have been your high, right? You put a line right there at the top. It's just right at the top of this zone here, right? It's literally where your last area of resistance was here, but it just makes sense to reject there, and you have, right? So I think you're going lower, man. I think you are. I think that was a bit of excitement. Everybody sees this and they're like, oh, it's going to do what it did before. We've seen this before, but it's like no. This is where it gets all the suckers trapped, right? And then they finally feel vindicated, and now they're trapped again, right? So I hope nobody bought up here, though. Inevitably, there were people that did. If you did buy up there, you're in a very precarious situation right now, right? Because you're down a lot in a very short amount of time. It's not a good feeling. There's not a whole lot that I can say for you other than I would expect that there will be new highs. I do expect that we will inevitably break above this line. I just don't expect it's going to be anytime soon. I think GME is going to essentially follow suit with like Dogecoin and Shiba, like meme coins. It's gonna follow through with a lot of cryptos, I think, because it pumped really hard around the time that Dogecoin pumped last time, and I think people think of GME and Dogecoin, they think of that like together. So all I'm trying to say is I think Dogecoin's going to pump at the end of this year, beginning of next year. I think that's when it'll pump, and until then it's just boring. Same thing with this. And it might be boring, but it might have moments where it spikes, slowly grinds its way down, does its thing, whatever. It might be working its way up to this zone, but you're not going to see moves like this again. I mean, you're not going to see a move like this again probably all year, if not until Q4. Okay, so if you're looking for this, if you're looking for the move that pumped up like 170% in a day or however much it did, it's not happening. You're not going to find it here. Okay, so let go of that if anybody's wondering. Is it a good time to get in? I mean, it just dropped 56% off its relative high, so yes, but also it's still up really high from its relative low, so no. I would say from a relative low to a high standpoint here, you're probably going to go to $20 to $18. Now, if you're hearing that and you're one of those unfortunate souls that bought on any of these past 3 or 4 days, and you're hearing me say it's going to go to $20 or $17, and you're thinking, I'll sell here and I'll just buy down there and I'll reconcile some of my money. Don't think like that. Not a financial advisor, not a financial advisor, but don't think like that, because watch me be wrong, and then boom, you go up. All the money that you lost would have been made back in a day. You don't know. And this is what I mean by it sucks to be you, to be any person who bought in the last 4 days. It really sucks because you don't know. Nobody knows. You could genuinely, this is the kind of stock, you guys, this is the kind of asset that it could, I don't expect that we're going to see a day or a week like we did this week again for probably the rest of this year, if not until Q4, late Q4 this year, right? I really feel confident in saying that, but you don't know. You never know with this thing. I think this was just a short squeeze, right? Clearing out some over-leveraged positions, stuff like that, right? And I think that, we're just going to continue to work our way down and be boring. We probably won't go below this low or anything like that. But again, you never know. You never know when this thing could just go on a straight tear. Everything that I'm saying here is theories. It's probabilities, it's statistics, right? Or circumstances that were based off of in the last cycle. It's different times now. It doesn't have to do the exact same thing. GME could pump at any time. So you hear me saying it's going to go to $20 to $18 or whatever it was that I was saying. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. But also, if I was in the situation where I bought up here, I certainly wouldn't sell here in hopes that it goes lower, because what happens if it doesn't even see a new high? What happens if it just pumps to $50? You're at 27 now and it pumps up to like 52 to $60. And then it goes lower. Then it has like a double top, and then it goes lower. You're going to sell here. It's going to do that. You're going to panic buy. You're going to be like, shit, I should have never sold in the first place. It's about to go to the moon. You panic buy, and then you're double screwed, Just don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. I don't know. If you're going to sell here, tell yourself you're not buying if it pumps without you. You accept defeat. If you're not going to sell here and it goes down, be like, this was expected. I'm not going to sell down here. If I'm not going to sell here, I'm not going to sell down there. Have a real conversation with yourself and just be prepared, because I think really the best thing that I can say for anybody that's bought in the past 4 days is be prepared for it to be boring. Over time, over the next year, I would say, I would expect that you do reclaim this high and beyond even. I would expect that. But for the time being, just boring. I went in way too much detail. The main reason I went on detail for this, I went off on such a tangent, is because this is that stock, man. GME, AMC, these are those stocks that it's on everyone's radar now. When nobody was paying attention to it except for like the insiders or people who were aware of the over leveraged positions that were being held by hedge funds, now it's on everybody's radar. It's different. It's different. You're not going to get sustained rallies like this. They're going to be like this. It's going to be like this where everybody's eyes are on it. So as soon as it gets your attention, that's whenever it goes down again, right? As soon as you're in despair and everybody's not paying attention, that's when it's going to do that kind of stuff. So try to just do opposite of whatever emotion you're feeling with this is probably the best thing that I could tell anybody. But enough talking, man. That was just so much talking. From high to low here. Yeah, you probably move up. Yeah, probably. I think you do. I think you move up. If you move down, I don't think you do, man. I think you move up to 1260 to 1530. I think that's where you're going for this one. PMTS up 17% this week, man. I think it's no question, you guys, that this one's probably going to take the cake for the winner, right? BRPHF might also be a good one, you know, for the short term. I just think this one's going to go up more. $9. Well, let's see. Actually, I don't know, man. That's a 30% gain. 30 to 60%. That one actually might be it. Mark Balsersack might be taking Dr. Mike and the boys out for a night on the town there, man. I think Galaxy Digital looks a little bit more promising in the upcoming days. $25.64 is what its price is now. I mean, genuinely, I think this thing's making a run right now. In the near term, like the immediate term, I think you're making a move up to 28 to $30, $31. So it's not quite as much, but that's still, I mean, that's another 10% essentially to 20%, and it could run higher. It really could, but let's stay grounded and look at that $28 to $31 area first. Let's see how you do. Because my expectation would be you go up to there, you pull back to about the 0.5 or the 382, somewhere in this zone, and then you move up again. That's my thoughts. Resistance in this zone, support in this zone, and then move up, right? Touch back with previous areas of resistance, confirm bit of support, then continue to move higher. That's my thoughts of this, but a little bit higher in the more immediate terms for sure. That's my thoughts on PMTS. I really like that bounce off this overbought, so man, I really like that look. That's a nice look with the bullish engulfing candle too. Yeah, a little bit more volume would be nice, but hey, whatever. You know, it looks good. TSM to finish this up for Deej. We're talking about this one for you, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. 152 is the current price. Yes, it is. Look at you with a hell of a recovery. Love to see it. Right when you're at your most bearish, that's when you started to flip, isn't it? I like where you popped at the RSI too. That's a nice look, man. Yeah, you're going higher. You're going to 168, 194, 212. You're going higher. Enough said. Easy. That one, and this one might take more time, but I'm very confident, very, very confident that you will achieve these prices. But when, you know, it could be the end of this year that you see these prices, or even sometime in next year before you see $212. But I do think you will. Lines up very well with that 1414, doesn't it? Yeah, before you break, I mean, you could break 200 this year. You really could, but I don't think it's going to be like right now. It could, but probably not like this month or next month. Still, even this year, that's pretty awesome for this thing. I'm going to go ahead and say I think this is moving up relatively immediately. I think it is moving up. Yeah, it looks good. Looks really good. Looks great. Phenomenal. Beautiful. So great, dude. It looks good. It's just getting started. But with that being said, even though this one does look pretty good, especially for the long term, I think the winner of tonight's video is Mark Balsersack with BRPHF with Galaxy Digital Holdings. It might not be the best looking over the long term, right? Like perhaps you go up here and then you take a drop back down to 675, going from a price potential of like $15 all the way down to 675. it's a pretty big drop, but I will say in the more immediate term, I am pretty confident you want to move up. Prove me wrong. Prove that you're not worthy of being the winner, Galaxy, and close below like 840. Prove me wrong and close below 840. Other than that, I think you're in a great position to move higher. So anyways, that's all I got, guys. Those last three, BR, PHF, PMTS, and TSM, all look really good. If I had to say anything for any of them, I'd say probably just stay away from Tesla and GME, probably. Oh, Unlawful Law. If you're still watching, my friend, if you're still watching, you wanted me to say how high could I see it go. I just want to say it's not really a good question to ask for me on this one because I don't know, like, I don't know if it's even capable of reclaiming its all-time highs. Let me see. Unlawful Law, I hope you're still watching this one, man. If not, I'll respond to the Discord. Like, if you're like, hey, why didn't you give the all-time high predictions? I'll be like, hey, I did. It was just at the end when I remembered. Okay, maybe it can reclaim this. Let's just see. So that would be a 14x. 14x from a $150 million market cap. Yeah, that's achievable for something like this. It's probably pretty achievable. So when will it find its highs? It could be with the crypto cycle. It could be sometime later. I mean, like, who knows? It could be after 2026. I really don't know. But inevitably, yes, I do believe this will see new all-time highs. And the minimum target would be 1937. Maximum is 5387. Does that happen this year? Maybe. Does it happen in 2025? Maybe. Does it happen later than that? Maybe. I really don't know. I would be a proponent of believing 2025 to 2026, somewhere in that zone, if you're looking for that. But time will tell. So I hope that answers everybody's questions. I very much appreciate all of you for coming. Thank you for being here. Hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.